Good morning. Yep, that sun is shining this morning. Let me move this so you can see me. So, I read a great quote this morning. It said, "Spend as much time on improving yourself as you do on wishing for a better life." Oh my goodness, if that one doesn't get you, how much time do each of us, I think it's, part of the human condition that we, wish for better than what we have. But how much time could we have to make life better if instead of sitting around and wishing, we actually took some kind of action? Oh my gosh. This may seem kind of silly. There was this song in the 1960s that Dusty Springfield sang called Wishin' and Hopin'. And it was about, it's like she's singing to someone who loves someone else, but the first person is just wishing and hoping that a relationship would start, and basically it's saying, you need to actually do something. But wishing and hoping, planning and praying, his kisses will start. That won't get you into his heart. Let's see, something about true love is all you gotta do. Oh, is hold them and squeeze them. Okay, so the song is encouraging you to, maybe it's not the best way to garner somebody's love for you, but the point of the song is it's not enough to just sit around and wish and hope and maybe even feel bad. Oh, I don't have this in my life. This is never going to happen. Do something about it, I mean, heck, if I sat here wishing for a cup of coffee, you know how quickly I'd get a cup of coffee? Well, I don't know. I guess it's possible that somebody might stop by and say, "Hey, you want a cup of coffee?" But it's very unlikely. So this morning when I went out with Grayson, I almost turned back into the house to get a light jacket. It was 61 degrees. 61 degrees. Oh my gosh. I mean, yesterday it was in the 70s in the morning. I mean, I went out, in a short sleeve shirt. I could have worn a sleeveless shirt. 61. Oh my goodness. So I'm starting to get out my shirts that I wear with my leggings, but I'm not wearing leggings this morning, but I'm getting out little longer shirts so that I'll probably be wearing the leggings this week, because I was looking at the weather. I have that weather app on my phone, so it lists the weather for the next 10 days, like mostly temperatures. And I'm looking, and I looked up at the top to make sure that I had the right city on there, that I wasn't looking at, something like, I don't know, further north of here, because it had some lows in the low 50s. Oh my gosh. Now, I know some of y'all live up north and, it's already getting chilly, but gosh, down south, we don't expect it this soon. Of course, soon enough here, it'll be back up in the 80s and, maybe even higher. But gosh, it's sort of a little chilly snap that's coming. Okay, well, on to coffee. So if you're listening, tell me about, what is the weather? What's the temperature like where you are? If you're north of the equator, you're probably in some, way, shape, or form coming into some signs of fall. Well, maybe not if you're living in the tropics, but And then, those of you who are way south of the equator, I know there are some people that listen who are in Australia. You know, what's the weather doing there? It's so funny because I know in Australia, when you go north, it gets warmer. When you go south, it gets colder. Isn't that right? Because when you go north, you're going closer to the equator, and south is closer to Antarctica. Right? Am I right? Josh Woods, are you watching? Is that right? Anyway, and anyone else, I know there are some people who are in England and Ireland. What's the weather doing there? Golly, I'm figuring it must be getting really cold already. Well, coffee. Alrighty. So I can make a regular size cup, and this is Audacio. I just gotta go with this. I love this color. Isn't it pretty? To some people, this is not a pretty color. That's so interesting to me. I've been thinking about how different things strike different people. I realized I've been watching a show on TV that has it's on Netflix, that's really kind of been challenging some of my thoughts. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to start a controversy. I don't like to have controversy on my page because I want my page to be someplace that people come that's going to have uplifting, positive things. And yeah, sure, healthy debate can be positive and uplifting, but I don't want my page or my YouTube channel to be a place of any sort of arguments or anything. You can do that someplace else. I mean, you want bad, down stuff, listen to the news. They guarantee that every day. Anyhow, so there are some words and things presented, terms on the show that really are, I'm not accustomed to hearing them and thinking about them. They represent different values and lifestyles than what I'm accustomed to. And just hearing some of the words, words, sounds that are words make me feel like, ew. And, oh, don't tell me I'm going to overflow this one. Hang on. Okay, stop. I'm going to have to stop it. It was probably getting ready to stop anyway. Let me go over. Let me get a clean spoon out of the dishwasher here. So, what I realized is there are some people who hear these same words. It's a clean dishwasher. And to them, these are normal, happy, or joyful words. And I thought, isn't that interesting? So what is it about these words that bothers me? And can I change that? Golly, I'm trying to think of an example here that would be maybe somewhat more neutral than others. Well, all right, let me pick this one. Trump. Donald Trump, okay? There are some people that if you say that name in their company, they just think, oh, yes, that's my guy. And then there are other people, they hear that name and their blood starts boiling. And still dealing with some of that reflux. Anyhow, maybe I better wait to drink this. So, it got me thinking, trying to understand why and how some people can be affected one way by a word and other people another way. And it made me, I guess, feel more open to understanding that people can be different, sort of, I guess, more accepting of the differences among people. Let's say another one is, let's say if you hear that somebody is from the Middle East, there are some people who immediately associate that with negative things. There are some people who immediately associate that with yummy food. There are other people who, that warms their heart. Like that's where their grandma was from, or, something like that. I don't know, it just really got me to thinking how there are so many different ways to look at things in life and think about things. And I think it's helping me to try to be slower to judge and also quicker to realize when I'm having a reaction that could be like a judgmental sort of thing. In a way, actually, that's being mindful. That's practicing mindfulness, observing what's going on without having to have an emotion attached to it. Like to realize, oh, I seem to really not like the usage of that word. I don't like it that they're calling this person this term, this name. That's interesting. Why don't I like that? Let me think about it. That's an example of being mindful and using mindfulness to stimulate thoughts to help me grow and change and hopefully become a better person. And instead of spending time wishing my life was better, actually doing something to improve it. That's an example, as far as I'm concerned, of doing something to improve my life. Let me just take one sip of this. Oh, that's so good. I'm wondering if maybe, well, I did just take my medicine to cut down on my stomach acid. Maybe I can get away with drinking this. Oh, well, I go to the doctor Monday about this reflux. We'll see what he says. Oh, I hope I'm not going to have to give up the coffee. Anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful day. And think about what I said. And think about, are you spending time wishing your life was different? Hey, how about spending that time making some plans to change your life and make it different? Okay, I'll talk to you later.